Good day, sir. My name is Bino Matapa. My student number is St10090477. And in this video, I'm going to show you my part 1 for programming. And also, I'm in group 2. Okay. So there's two ways we can run this application. One is by going to a project folder, going to the bin, debug.NET 6, and run this exe file. As you can see, it's working perfectly fine. The second option is I can run by using debugging mode. So let's do that for this demonstration. Okay, as you can see, the first thing that comes up is add semester information. And I want user to add semester information is because they won't face any kind of problem while they're adding modules, right? And the self-study hours also won't have any kind of problems while if we add semester information at first place. So let's see how this thing works. Okay, so before we add any kind of data, let's see if our exception working perfectly fine or not. So if I don't add anything on both of this menu and just click or just hit button, it's going to show us input string is not in correct format type. That means I have to add something, right? We know that number of weeks is supposed to be number and not string. So for this case, let me add string. And I'm just going to select a random date. And let's add the semester and it says input string was not in correct format. Please add the correct format. Well, that means I have to choose number. So let's say my number of weeks in semester is 15. And also for this date, I want to check. So let's say if I don't add any kind of date and click on this button, they will say that the string was not recognized as a valid date and time. And please add the correct format type. So let me add select the date. So I'm just going to select January of 11 and add semester information. Okay, so it says semester information added successfully. Hit OK, and we can see our application. So the first thing we have to notice is we have this labels, the two labels called number of weeks in semester. That's 15 and started of the semester. It's just showing or just letting users to know that how many weeks they have in a semester and when is the first day of the semester, right? We also have this two menu in which it says file, and in the file we have view log history. I'll show you this view log history after I have added modules and self-study hours. But for now, let me just show you other stuff as well. We have exit. Well, we're going to use this program after we're done with this demonstration as well. And we also have this help. So let's say a user does not know how to use this application, right? Or maybe they're confused. So this link or this menu will redirect to their default browser and open a YouTube video. And that video will be this video. But for now, if I click on this, it's just going to go to my YouTube channel. And if you guys like my videos, then please subscribe. Well, that's not the point. And let's move on. So we also have this add semester info. So if I click on this add semester info, and it will show you the first thing that happened when we run this application. And I wanted to add these features because let's say a user made a mistake adding semester week or start date of the semester, right? Just like me, I made a mistake. It was supposed to be 14 and it was supposed to be 10 January. Well, I have to fix that. So to do that, I can just go over here and I can say 14 and 10 of January and add the semester information. Saying semester information added successfully, hit OK. As you can see, it changes from 15 to 14 and 11 from 10. Well, it's working fine now. Now, let's add module. Before I add module, I want to see if our exception is working fine or not. So if I don't say anything, or if I just leave it as blank and say add module, then it's going to show us module code is empty. Please add the correct format type. Hit OK. That means I have to add module code. Let me add Prog6212 And what will happen if I don't add any kind of module name? It will say module name is empty. Please add the correct format type. Well, for this, I'm going to add programming. Number of credits. Well, we know that number of credits is supposed to be numbers, but let's see what will happen if we leave blank and if we add any kind of string. So let's see the blank one. Input string is not in correct format type. Let's add some sort of string. It will say the same stuff. That means I have to add number for that. So I'm going to add 15. And even class hours is the same. So without wasting any time, I'm just going to say 5. As you can see, Prog6212 module added successfully. And we can also see in the grid view that the module code is over there, the programming name is, module name is over there, and number of credits is also there, class hours per week also there, and this calculation is also the self-study hours required per week, and the remaining self-study hours this week. So this is the hours that I need to study in a week. Okay. So let's see if our application can add multiple modules or not. So for now, I'm going to add networking. MWZ, that will be 6112. That will be networking. Number of credits will be 20, and class hours is 7. Let me add the module, and networking module added successfully. Well, sometimes the grid view has some sort of problem. So if the message shows up and if it doesn't pop over here, then we can always double click on this and it will automatically refresh for you. So let me add database as well. And I'm going to call this database. And number of credits will be 10 and class hours is 3. Let's add that. As you can see, it's added successfully. Hit OK, and we can double click on this. And as you can see, database is here, networking is here, and programming is here as well. Okay, so we also have this self-study hours this week. So that means that I have to log the hours as well. So to do that, before we add any kind of data, let's see what will happen if I click this add self-study hours. As you can see, please provide a valid date and time for self-study date. So saying that I need a valid date and time. Let's say I studied on January 11th. Before we even go over there, I just wanted to show you a feature that it won't go below January and after or above April, because it's calculating the number of weeks and in the semester and the first day you started the semester. So as you can see, you started the semester on 10th of January and you have 14 weeks. That means you just have 14 weeks. So let me say I started on 11th. As you can see, an unexpected error occurred. Input string was not in a correct format. Okay, that means I also have to add an input over here. So number of hours. Let's say I studied for 2 hours, and that is also for programming. Before I even say that, let me see what's happening. And module code with name not found. Well, because there's nothing, we never selected anything, so we can come over here and say programming. So I studied for 2 hours, programming on 11th of January. It's 5 right now, so if I hit this, it's gonna say self-study for programming added successfully. You have studied 2 hours, and as you can see, it says 5 minus 2, that will be 3, right? So let's say I studied 2 hours for networking as well on 12th of January. That means it says that networking added successfully, you have studied 2 hours. And let's say I've studied 3 hours for database on 13th of January. And you can see you have studied 3 hours. And there's one like this. So as you can see that our remaining self-study hours also working perfectly fine on our application. Well, as I promised that I'm going to show you my view log history as well once I've added module and self-study. So since I've added, let's see what this function does. As you can see, so this feature is basically keeping the history of all the logs that you have added. So I studied programming for 2 hours on 11th of January. I studied networking for 2 hours on 12th of January, and database for 13th of January for 3 hours. Well, I wanted to add this feature is because if a student wanted to know how many hours they have studied for each module, then it will help them to keep a track and see where they are heading, right? So let me close this. Okay, and also I want to show like so let's say like I studied 2 hours more for programming, and on let's say on maybe 13th of January, then I can add that. As you can see, it's a sort of I've added self study for Prog successfully, and as you can see, it was two before. I think it was three before, and now I added 2 hours more. That's because it is gonna minus that three to two. So we just have one left. So yeah, that's it for this video, for this application. So I can just go to File and Exit. Also, what I wanted to show is I have also used the class library over here, module, semester, and study logs, and also reference this to our main project. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you like it.